What is this? So, let's see. Am I recording or no? What is this? 15th to 19th century is the making of the Atlantic world. So, let me see. Can I turn that on? Where do I want to start at? Is this the exit? So I guess you start right here. Alrighty. Or can I do it this way? Okay. I don't think it works that way. I think I gotta do it this way. Slavery and freedom. 1400 to 1876. I believe that's when slavery was technically abolished. Right here. 500 years ago, a new form of slavery transformed Africa, Europe, and the Americas. For the first time, people saw other human beings as commodities, things to be bought, sold, and exploited to make enormous profits. This system changed the world. The United States was created in this context, forged by slavery as well as radical new concept freedom. This is a shared story, shared past told through the lives of African Americans who helped form the nation. Okay. Should I go down each wall one by one? Back. Let me see what they're going to show. The galleries aren't really saying much. These are just pictures. Or is this a video? Got this right here. What is this? Europe and an emerging global economy. So, I'm going to make sure it's close enough so everybody can read it. So, I will post this to my TikTok and my YouTube channel. So, it's my first time being in the African American Museum. So, I will. Oh, they showing some new stuff over there. Right here. Let's see what this says right here. Okay, I'm not going to read everything. I'll get close enough so everybody can read it themselves. Oh, they got something on Christopher Columbus. I'm missing what this right here. Okay. Somebody making noise. What did they get about Christopher Columbus? Okay. I want to know how realistic the actual picture is. So it's a portrait that someone made of the actual person. That's how he actually looked, I guess. I guess that's about England in here. The Netherlands, Spain, Portugal. Oh, they got various. It's all about the slave trade. Is that an actual? Okay. Let's see what kind of gun that is. Do it say? I don't see it. Whatever this is. Yeah, I knew that was a whip right there. So that's probably an actual whip that they used on slaves. Is that a rope or is that? Yeah, I think that's. It's a wood handle and it got like some kind of rope. It looked like it's metal on it to me. So, I'm trying to see. They don't got a lot on it. Let me see what else they got over here. Let me go to this spot. Wow, that's really cool. Those are actual chains that they had around people's necks. That's crazy to actually see it. I remember I went to a friend of mine's home who owned a plantation, and if you walked around in the field long enough, you could find these like chains like this that they have around their arms and stuff, actually in the grass. And I was like telling her, you can sell that to the Smithsonian or someone for a lot of money. And she had various things from Native Americans like arrows and whatnot and weaponry. She just got them sitting around the house and it looks. Let me see what else there. What is this right here? Sugar. That was definitely a part of the slave trade. Sugar. A lot of people made a lot of money off of it. So this is a sugar pot. Let me just sugar. Driver of the slave trade. Something that we take for granted now. Everyday sugar.
From the global demand for sugar, rice, tobacco, and coffee, they invested in slave labor to clear land.
We've all seen pictures of the slave ships where they have all the slaves laid out in them. I think the first time I seen this was in the Roots miniseries, but I've seen it plenty of times since being in history class and whatnot.
Olana Equiano was kidnapped and enslaved at age 11 and taken to the Caribbean and the Americas. Equiano endured the horrific experience of New World enslavement. In his autobiography, he recalled, "In a little time after, amongst the poor chained men, I found some of my own nation, which in a small degree gave ease to my mind." The church, governments, and companies invested in the business of slavery.
This is not clear. Can I turn on my
The
light?
sale of enslaved Africans and the profits made from their labor developed European nations and New World colonies.
Unfortunately, I can't turn my
Men such as
flashlight
Henry
on.
Lawrence, a partner in one of the largest slave trading houses in colonial North America, transformed their profits into position and power. Lawrence sold thousands of enslaved Africans in the 1750s. He gained influence as one of the wealthiest colonists and later became a prominent member of the Continental Congress. The wealth generated by slavery was enormous for nations as well. By 1833, when Great Britain abolished slavery, the country paid out roughly $2.4 billion in today's currency to compensate British slave owners. The transatlantic slave trade was built on profit and human suffering. Despite the harsh reality of the inhumanity of enslavement, enslaved people, forcibly dispersed throughout the Atlantic world, created something more: new connections, new cultures, and a rich African diaspora.
All right, let me go through this gallery and see what else we can find. Was that a weapon or a tool? Look like it could be both. Something that they make slaves use. Let me see. Okay, that's a cane knife. This is a whip. The whip slaves with. And I guess this is a cane knife.
Atlantic world slavery, also considered
That's definitely a shovel right there. Or the end of a shovel. There's some type of a coin right there.
He also commercialized and racialized slavery. Between 1501 and 1866, at least 12,500,000 enslaved Africans.
That's another type of whip. They sure like making whips to whip slaves with. That's one with a whole bunch of different ends on it so they can really get your back good.
Europeans built an economy.
And they talking about something, forget about slavery, all the atrocities that were committed.
To make vast profits from the global demand
flogging and enslaved women
and coffee, they invested in
surname.
To clear land.
This illustration depicts a first-person observation of the deadly treatment of enslaved Africans in the New World. An observer stated that whips cut at every lash and crack like a pistol, courtesy of the John Carter Brown Library at Brown University.
Was kidnapped and enslaved at age 11 and taken to the Caribbean and the Americas. Equiano endured the horrific experience of New World enslavement.
Equiano.
In his autobiography, he recalled,
so you can Google this person's name and get more information about him.
Some of my own nation, which I'm small.
And that is a picture of what he's supposed to look like. Let's see.
The church, government.
There's so many different areas you can go to. This is a big gallery. What is this?
This caused such mortality. Nearly one half of them died before the ship arrived in the West Indies.
More shackles, slave shackles.
The officers are permitted to indulge.
These are hundreds of years old.
Such brutal excesses as disgrace human nature.
Can't believe the type of stuff people was able to get away with. Don't even want to call them people. Okay.
The very first salute I had from them was a blow on the back part of my head.
I'm glad they have this information in the African American Museum, but I think it's good to preserve all of this stuff. Okay. So if you want an in-depth look at all this stuff, you can come down to Washington, D.C. in the African American Museum to see this. I know it has more stuff in there. I guess these are all the ships.
They cleared and cultivated the land, building profitable plantations and
points of arrival in North America. So these are all the different slave ports, I believe.
Contributed to the new regional culture throughout colonialism.
Okay. So if anybody want to read it, I'll keep it on here for a few seconds. I'm going to upload this onto my page later on when I have the time.
In most instances,
Okay.
in some a few Africans in America.
Let me see what else I can see in here. Well, I can go past every
majority. This enabled them to maintain cultural practices and create new American cultures. In large
Portugal,
cities like Charleston, New Amsterdam, and Philadelphia,
Denmark,
men, women, and children often worked in a variety of trades.
the global trade.
Domestics, craftsmen, dock workers, and local vendors. In bustling cities, free and enslaved Africans had more
People get burned,
to meet, build relationships, and share information.
set on fire. This is nothing new.
On small, rural farms, enslaved people often formed close
Violent
relationships
reprisal.
with American Indians and European indentured servants. They lived in the belt together. The dependency of slave labor spread across North
Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. They got a whole bunch of shackles.
Spanish
I guess this is a paddle that came from a rowboat.
with the reliance on enslaved populations, new laws
As 20%
They're
of the
going musket
population,
right there.
Africans could tip the scales of war. And
They would have to
therefore
put
could
powder in it for the fire.
The British and colonial armies, though initially reluctant, sought the advantage of recruiting able-bodied enslaved Africans to support their
This
cause.
is actually
Africans aligned with
a really nice gallery.
the British acted first.
That's a nice view.
British governor, Lord Dunmore,
I'm not doing it justice. You actually have to be here to.
all enslaved Africans who crossed.
This is the building that Oprah Winfrey and a lot of black celebrities gave money to for them to build.
Free African Americans built institutions and traditions.
This is really nice.
They pushed the definition.
It's a really impressive building. I think this is the newest Smithsonian building. Who's this guy? This must be Benjamin Banneker, because Thomas Jefferson doesn't look nothing like him. That must be Thomas Jefferson over there. Let me see. Or am I wrong? One more shackles. But what you expect from a gallery that did, yeah, Thomas Jefferson said, I knew it. Is that Crispus Addis over there? Let me see.
And the roots
I pride myself on my
foundations for freedom.
no, this is someone else, and I can't pronounce his name, but I'm gonna put it here, then I can Google it later and get more information on it. Let me see. Some documents. History has always been my favorite subject in school, but at the same time, sometimes you get tired of
and children, and profit generated from the sale of their bodies and their labor.
yay. Let me see.
The business, the trade profit.
This is nice.
Just like they do a horse. They look at your teeth and pull
Not
your
what's going
eyelids
on.
back and look at
Harriet
your
Tubman seizing freedom.
feel you. Just like you was a horse. More slaves was getting born than died. Oh, Max repeated that.
I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here. Okay, restrooms, cafe. There's supposed to be other galleries in here that are more uplifting than what I'm in now, dealing with all the slavery. I know it's important to know, but oh God, there go that famous picture. I forgot the name of the movie that Will Smith was in, where he portrayed this guy.
Through their strength and resilience, African American men, women, and children
It's
changed the tide of
crazy.
the war. Through their words and actions, they changed the course of our nation.
Frederick Douglass, of course, and soldiers. Lincoln. Wow. I might as well take a look at this while I'm over here. Got the pistol, soldier's hat, and a dress. Now I'm trying to figure my way out. This is they got a plane in here. I guess that has something to do with World War One. Looking at the plane, not 100% sure. This is a huge gallery. If you've been to like the other museums that's been around for 70, 80 years, this one is a big like improvement on it. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here. Okay, I gotta find an elevator. Or can I walk up each level? Or I can do the smart thing and just follow all the exit signs. Let's see. Whew. Right here. Alrighty then. It's big and impressive. Just trying to find my way out. The exit is pointing this way, but there's no exit unless they mean up here. They're not giving really good directions. This can't be the exit. It must mean this way. Okay, let's keep going up. We're gonna find this exit. Okay, women and the movement. That's good. Trying to find an exit. I see a lit green sign.
Like you'll feel how heavy it is, and you'll instantly stop.
Okay, I guess I go up this way. Get another shot of the jet. A changing America. Let me see. So, I think the best way to get out of here, they go to Black Panthers. Let me take a peek in here right quick. Black Panthers right there. '68 Olympics, when they gave the power sign with the gloves and they were stripped of their gold medals. Go. So what's they got in here? Okay, they got Billy D and Diana Ross. That must be Lady Sings the Blues. No, this is Mahogany. They was in more than one movie together. So Jackson 5. Michael Jackson. That's Diane Carroll. What's the name of that TV show she was in? Julia. That's Julia. This was a year before I was born when her TV show came out. And of course, Sidney Poitier, because he was coming to dinner with Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn, interracial marriage, or they were dating, they were going to get married. Alex Haley, of course, he wrote Roots. That is Sheriff right there, Richard Roundtree. So this section, I guess, deals with a black cinema. What movie is this with James Earl Jones? I don't recognize it. Top left.
My first act would be to organize black associations where they don't already exist.
Film and television. I recognize this guy, but I forget his name. Gordon Parks, filmmaker.
Attention visitors, running, horseplay, and playing on or throwing items off balconies is strictly prohibited and will result in an escort out.
Trying to figure out Fruits of Islam. Being a Muslim myself, I find this interesting.
That Christianity is anti-Negro.
Minister Farrakhan. The nation was so big and powerful back in the day. It's not what it used to be.
Serve a creative purpose in a projected multiracial world. It may mean in different directions. Black people are not going to remain suppressed and oppressed in a way that is clearly inconsistent with the good of this nation.
Okay. Coretta Scott King right there at the funeral, unfortunately. Go this way. They got a whole Obama section. They gave Obama a whole section to himself. First black president, African American Museum. So, what do you expect? What else they got in here? Wow. I guess they can't take certain things out. They got a picture of Diddy, the diddler. Shit, they got another one on Russell Simmons and the Williams sisters. Colin Powell, who I think would have made a really good president, but his wife was afraid, so she didn't want him getting assassinated. Halle Berry and Denzel winning Oscars. Is that the Public Enemy symbol right there? Let me see. Yeah, it is. Am I wrong? I don't want to be saying something stupid. Yeah, it is. It is. Don't be looking stupid. Don't believe the hype. I just know rap ain't what it used to be. Rappers used to can rap. Real lyrics. There was a lot more talent. Reporting live from the hip hop generation. I'm glad I didn't go to the exit. I would have missed this. There go Jesse Jackson, who just passed recently.
Shortly before 6 a.m., police moved in with tear gas and water cannons to evict members of Mood.
Jordan, Run DMC, Magic Johnson in a picture too at the bottom. They made a little mistake though. They put Michael Jordan dominated professional basketball in the 80s. He actually dominated in the 90s, but he was always dominant. Let's get it real. Hope this won't be on my line. Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, Jesse Jackson, Michael Jackson and Oprah at the bottom. There's a lot going on in this gallery. Spike Lee. Yeah, I grew up and all this stuff was going on.
It was a street party throughout East and West Berlin.
Who was that? Is that an actual Oprah Winfrey? It's her actual set from the Oprah Winfrey show. The Oprah Winfrey show. It's got a lot in here. Oh, there go Roots, Reggie Jackson, Marsha Hunt. Let's see what else they got in here. Wait a minute. I loved the black exploitation movies of the 70s.
Of the people of America. My presence before you.
That's Shirley Chisholm. She ran for president. Oh, so we just came out of the 80s. This is the 70s. Let's see what else they got in here.
If the city can be rebuilt, then this city will be rebuilt.
Exercising their new political rights, residents elected the country's first African-American mayor.
Moving on up.
With political power came more economic
Remember when we used to have Jet magazines all the time?
African-Americans were
And Ebony magazines.
And young people began
and even albums, a deck of playing cards. This is nice.
But for many African Americans, life in the city remained a struggle. City landscapes remained scarred by the urban rebellions of the 1960s. Inner city residents still faced poverty, poor housing, dilapidated schools, and police brutality. Corporations were closing and factories were heading overseas, taking jobs and local tax dollars with them, leaving the city's new mayors with few resources to fix roads, schools, or housing. Black communities were further decimated by the war on drugs and the epidemic of crack cocaine. Unequal policing and mandatory sentencing laws kept black men behind bars and away from families and jobs. Whites deserted many cities in droves. Middle-class African Americans left as well. In one short decade between 1975 and 1985, the number of Black Americans living in suburbs doubled to 7 million. And in the cities, the Black population was becoming more diverse. After immigration laws changed in 1965, Black immigrants came in increasing numbers from the Caribbean, South and Central America, and the African continent.
I had an afro in the early 80s.
Facing discrimination at every turn and looking for ways to express themselves, Black and
Yep.
Latino youth gave birth to a new cultural
I used to break dance and pop.
which soon became the soundtrack to cities and suburbs around the world.
And hip hop has changed a lot. It's nothing like it used to be.
As the 20th century ended, corporate towers, gentrified neighborhoods, ethnic enclaves, and long-standing communities competed for space in urban America. Renewed economic investment in cities meant gains and losses for African Americans. Those living in areas once deemed undesirable now found them unaffordable.
Yep.
Once again, city
That definitely happened in Washington, D.C. A lot of Black people have moved out of Washington, D.C. to Maryland and Virginia like I did. How long is this video? Because I missed the beginning.
Between 1964 and 1968, rebellions caused by racial and economic struggles broke out in more than 100 cities across the country. By 1970, with nearly half of all African Americans living outside the rural South, African Americans populated cities and major metropolitan areas of the North and West. The city had become the crucible of African American life. The civil rights and Black Power movements had opened new doors.
If we come together, if we believe that this city can be rebuilt, then this city will be rebuilt.
Exercising their new political rights, residents elected the country's first African American mayors. With political power came more economic opportunity. More African Americans were able to climb into the middle class, and young people began taking advantage of new educational opportunities afforded by affirmative action. But for many African Americans, life in the city remained a struggle. City landscapes remained scarred by the urban rebellions of the 1960s. Inner city residents still faced poverty, poor housing, dilapidated schools, and police brutality. Corporations were closing and factories were heading overseas, taking jobs and local tax dollars with them, leaving the city's new mayors with few resources to fix roads, schools, or housing. Black communities were further decimated by the war on drugs and the epidemic of crack cocaine. Unequal policing and mandatory sentencing laws kept Black men behind bars and away from families and jobs.
One thing I'll point out over here, and as we're passing,
Whites
this section is
deserted
called
many
the cities
cities in droves. Middle-class African Americans left as well. In one short decade between 1975 and 1985, the number of Black Americans living in suburbs doubled to 7 million.
Again, it takes a while. It's still not a time.
And in the cities, the Black population was becoming more diverse. After immigration laws changed in 1965, Black immigrants came in increasing numbers from the Caribbean, South and Central America, and the African continent. Facing discrimination at every turn and looking for ways to express themselves, Black and Latino youth gave birth to a new cultural form, hip-hop, which soon became the soundtrack to cities and suburbs around the world. As the 20th century ended, corporate towers, gentrified neighborhoods, ethnic enclaves, and long-standing communities competed for space in urban America. Renewed economic investment in cities meant gains and losses for African Americans. Those living in areas once deemed undesirable now found them unaffordable. Once again, city landscapes were shifting.
Okay. This was nice. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, this is more TV stuff right here. What's this right here? Okay. Good Times, of course. The Jeffersons. I don't know what that is with Denzel Washington. I Spy with Bill Cosby. I remember that show. Sanford and Son. The Flip Wilson Show. Somebody had a black person had a TV show. Who was the first one? Nat King Cole. He the first black person to have a TV show, their own TV show. What's the name of that thing with okay, that's Thing Elsewhere. When he played a doctor, Alfre Woodard. I didn't know she was in there. I don't think I watched that show. That's y'all. All right. There's a lot in here. There go Muhammad Ali. I don't know who that woman is right there. She looked familiar. What's her name? Marsha Hunt, that's her name. She attractive. Oh, Marsha Hunt. Muhammad Ali. I used to have a pick when I had hair. All right, this is a nice gallery. I like all the entertainment stuff. Oh, here go another picture of the nation. Fruits of Islam. If they ever get back to being like this, I'll be a force to be reckoned with it, but not the way they are now. That was nice. Hopefully this is heading towards the exit. Here go close up of the plane again. I guess the exit is upstairs somewhere. This is, I'm trying to guess, this looks like this is Barack Obama's first inauguration. I'm going by his hair, and I'm trying to think, is it? Because his daughter, how old was his daughter during her first inauguration? That's wild. Oh, this was good. All right, I think I'm done. So I will upload this to my page so anybody who missed it can see it later. There's a big sign on the wall that says, I too am America. Langston Hughes. All right. I don't want to film that girl. Clean right there. I go this way. Like a wide view of the plane. That's it. Other one. Oh, there we go.